Hey there, Sinead Dunn here from the Extraordinary Mompreneur Community, and welcome to the Mompreneur Show, your weekly fill for tips, tricks and inspirations on how to build a successful business and family. And this week's show we got chatty with Bree Steadman, and she chatted with us all about how her struggles in her motherhood led her to her new business in helping other mothers become more confident and fulfilled with themselves. So let's get chatty. Hi Bree, and welcome to the Mompreneur Show. Can you just share us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so very excited. So I'm a mum from Australia, obviously. I live in beautiful Newcastle, which is in New South Wales. And I have two children. I've got a 9-year-old boy who is ADHD and ODD. And I've also got a 7-year-old girl who is ADD, and she has severe expressive and receptive language disorder. So challenging children, but they're also my grace growers. They've taught me an awful lot about who I am as a woman.
Yes, let's say so. Challenging. So your business, what is it you do with work?
Yeah, so essentially what I do is work. I've studied in the female brain and in what causes females to get caught up in emotional states. So essentially what I do is help women to own the stories that are fueling the emotions, such as overwhelm, procrastination, stress, anxiety is something that really self-perpetuates via the stories that we tell ourselves. So I work with a process which is called Creatrix in a program that I've put together called Emotional Detox, which essentially helps women to disconnect from the intensity of the emotion so that they can then address the stories without sort of getting caught up and lost in what's going on.
So, Brie, I know you've had a crazy day, and thank you so much for still fitting this interview in. So, you're in your car after having a client rush to you. So, how do you manage your work-life balance?
I'm fairly strict with my time. Tonight was a different situation because obviously when you're working with women's emotions, there are stuff that happens that you know kind of do take precedence, but generally speaking, both my children are at school. I've been self-employed for 14 years, so I'm very, I suppose, habitual in regards to how I spend my time. I know that between the hours of 9 and 3, when my kids are at school, it's very easy for me to become quite productive and get a lot of work done. One of the greatest things that I ever started to do was schedule an appointment straight off the bat at around 9:30. So as soon as I've dropped the kids off at school, it's a forced appointment that gets you into work mode. Whereas before, when I started to do that, 9 o'clock would turn to 10 a.m. and then it would turn to 11 a.m. and nothing would be done, and I'd be eating lunch going, I've wasted the day, and then the story in my head would start to cycle again, and I'd start to feel guilty and beat myself up for not being productive. So I have set days that I work, and I aim to have most of my appointments wrapped up prior to me picking the kids up from school, so that then I can spend those 3 or 4 hours after school being mum. And then once they're in bed, I generally work again of a night time, just networking and connecting with clients online. So I love it though.
Yeah, that's what most of us mompreneurs, whatever free time we have, are straight to work.
Yeah, and I'm sure you feel the same. It doesn't feel like work because it gives you that location freedom, and it gives you the flexibility to be able to design your life around the priorities that you hold most close to you.
Yeah, so when your children were younger, because you said you're self-employed for 14 years, so when your children were younger, what way would you have managed that then?
A lot of the time, my kids came to work with me. So I worked in an industry that was, again, very heavily female-based, and if my clients if they weren't accepting of the fact that I had to bring my kids with me, then I didn't work with them. I was fairly rigid with the people I chose to work with. I'm very blessed that I've got an incredibly supportive husband. So sometimes I would work of a night time. And I always looked at that as a positive as well because, you know, it takes two people to make a child. And my belief was if I wanted to go out and have my own space, then that gave my husband an opportunity to bond with the kids without my influence. So they created their own little routines of an evening while I went out and worked 2 or 3 nights a week while they were younger, or they came to work with me.
And do you have any other support in a sense, like do you hire out like cleaners, anything like that, you VAs? Nothing. So
No.
You do it all
No,
yourself?
all solo. Yeah.
So
Crazy.
what type of routines do you have? Do you have your children, do they help do chores? Like what family routines do you have set up that kind of helps you?
So I run my husband's business as well. So we've got 2 businesses that run out of the house. So Thursdays are my husband's business days. The rest of the week is my business day. My kids, I did, when I was studying the female brain, I started to study the dynamics between mums and children as well. So with that, a lot of parenting courses and a lot of different approaches to get your kids to work as a team and sort of, what's that word? Collaborate with one another. So my kids do have chore charts, although we don't call them chore charts, it's a job chart. And essentially what we do at the beginning of each month, we get the chore chart out and we all sit there and say, okay, what days does Leah want to do X, Y, and Z? And what days does Olivia want to do X, Y, and Z? So they take ownership of the chores that they want to do on the days that they want to do it, and then I will nominate them to do something else. So they each have one chore to do each day. I'm quite a disciplined mum. I have expectations of the kids, I suppose, but because we've got 2 businesses, that's just the way it has to be. And they are both very independent children as well because they just know that this needs to be done every morning, and if it's not done, then, you know, it's not nice. There's a consequence, and it generally means they've got to spend some time in their bedroom after school, so they don't like that.
I love that. I did it with mine as well. So, Bree, can you just tell us a little bit more about how your journey got you to where you are now in your business? Because I know you have a story behind that.
Yeah, so 4 years ago I was running an exclusive just direct sales business. I was a director in a company with 120 women within my team, so it was quite a busy hands-on time. So externally I was seen as someone who had my shit together all the time. I was well presented, I was always positive, I was always running from one appointment to the next. But internally I was really struggling with juggling all of that. And not so much the juggling, but I was really struggling with the guilt and I should be doing this and I should be doing that, and I'm not the right kind of person, and the expectations that I felt were put on me from exterior sources. And so it escalated to a point where I started to become quite physically violent towards my child, towards my son, who at the time was only about 4.5. And all of this stuff was done behind closed doors because, and I'm sure it's the same where you're at as well, not a lot of women actually admit to how much they struggle.
Oh, yes.
It's you know, God forbid you actually say you're having a bad day. And so I was having these bad days, but it was all done behind closed doors. And then my phone would ring and I'd put on the fake, hello, this is Bree, how can I help you? And I just couldn't do it anymore. And so it escalated when I started to become violent towards my son, which was not done intentionally, but I was so caught up in the emotion of my head that I didn't know any other way to get out. And as bad as that moment was, it was also a blessing because it really allowed me to see what was going on and make a decision to change. So I started doing parenting courses, I started going to counselling, I started to outreach for help, and no one would ever say to me, okay, yes, this is what's going on, but what's going on with you, Bree? They were blaming Blair and his ADHD, or they were blaming the fact that I was running a business or that I was too busy to, nominate time. So I went along and learned about the female brain, and this lady just completely shattered everything that I'd ever been taught in regards to addressing my stuff and owning my role in the situation. And so with that ownership came a whole new way of approaching life, because all of a sudden I wasn't blaming. I was able to say, well, yes, he's a challenging child, but I have choices here as well. And so what can I now do to make more peace within this situation? And then everything just changed. I decided I didn't want to do direct sales anymore. I wanted to make a more significant difference with women, because I was fairly certain I wasn't the only one who struggled.
Definitely. Mother of 5, believe me, I've struggled. I still struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still struggle. I mean, my eldest is 21, my youngest is 10, but there's days I just want to run out the door and not be here, and there's days I actually want to physically put my hands around some of their throats and go, because they drive you mad. But yeah, no. I'm so glad you're sharing this, because a lot of us don't actually really talk about this, the struggles that how hard, and what, as you said, what's going on behind closed doors, because you put on a smiley face to everybody else, but inside then it's like a different story.
It is, and I think the thing is as well, particularly nowadays, statistics say 1 in 3 women are struggling. And statistics also say that 1 in 3 children are diagnosed with some kind of disorder, whether it's ADHD or a learning disability or autism, there's a diagnosis. And so it's easier for us to point the finger at the child and say, right, well, the child needs X, Y, Z. My theory is we as the mamas are the one who are driving the entire situation at home. So if we're feeling that we're struggling, then we're not being of any service to either our businesses or to our children unless we start to really rescue ourselves first and learn strategies and learn ways to be able to cope with what's going on in our heads, so that when life happens, you're not getting sucked into it. You're actually able to navigate through it with confidence.
Yeah. And what would be the one tip then that you would suggest to mothers that you feel that would help them that are going through this at the moment?
The number one tip is to acknowledge as soon as... So what happens in our brains is the more that we tell the stories, the more that we allow the story to cycle over in our heads and we get sucked into the problem, the worse the emotion becomes with the problem. So the bigger the guilt becomes, or the bigger the overwhelm or the anxiety or whatever it is. So the very first step for women is to take that step back and acknowledge, what am I actually saying to myself? What am I feeling as a result of what I'm saying to myself? And what can I do about it to create space? Those 3 questions alone allow us to disassociate from the problem and start to tackle things in a maybe a fresher way, a fresher perspective. It's not a solution, but it certainly gives us a different perspective to be able to tackle things.
Yeah. And then you also do a lot of work around women and confidence as well. So do you have any tips you could share around, being more confident in ourselves as a woman and a mother?
Yeah. One of my favourite things that I recommend to my clients, again, we're always taught to look for things to be grateful for. If you've done any kind of mindfulness work, the mantra is go to bed grateful, wake up grateful, which is a great way of living. But sometimes when life just seems so hard, it's very hard to find one thing to feel grateful for. So what I encourage my clients to do is go to bed and acknowledge 3 wins or 3 strengths that you've been able to work with that day. And a win could be you made a phone call to a client. If that was something that you were procrastinating over and you actually picked up the phone and made that phone call, then that's something that you celebrate prior to you going to bed. So you've lifted your spirits and you've lifted your you can do attitude, rather than going, well, I didn't make those phone calls that I said I was going to do, and I didn't do that paperwork, and I didn't even get blah, blah, blah done. Shift it around from forgetting about what you didn't get done and just really celebrate what little things you did do, even if they're just baby steps. And with that, if you did that every day for a week, at the end of the week, you've got 21 lists of things that you've done well. So, it's forcing you to focus on something more positive.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Bree, thank you so much for being here with us. Can you just tell us where we can find more about you?
Yeah, so I've got a Facebook group, which is quite an active Facebook group. I post videos almost daily. And that is Emotional Confidence for Women. The Facebook address is just facebook.com/groups/emotional confidence, one word. Or you can do a search for me, Bree Steadman. I'm pretty visible. I don't hide much.
I'll put all your links anyway down below and stuff underneath the video.
Yeah.
So Bree,
that would be lovely.
Thank you so much for your tips and your story and being so transparent with us. Oh,
hang on, we've lost. There we go.
Again, thank you so much for being here. I really, really, really loved listening to your stories as well. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. It's been an absolute honour sharing this time with you.
Hey there, and thank you for watching my video, and I'm super excited to bring to you my free video training on how to use a task project management system tool that I use in my life and in my business. We all know the importance of having systems in our life and in our business to make them run smoothly. And this free tool, yes, it is a free tool that you can use to just make yourself more productive and save you more time. If this is something that you want in your life, sign up in the link down below and I will send you your free training. And I look forward to meeting you in the training.